Hello guys and girls, this is Jay from Sentinel Trading Channel. I bet you guys have been waiting for quite some time for my latest update video, especially since I've sent out emails to some of my subscribers to actually pause trading the previous method until I look for a new trading method. And also on the previous episode, I mentioned that there's a potential in one of my new theories that that actually brought my account like double up from about 10k to 21,000. So I've been spending the past week about 3 days of intensive data gathering. That means trading almost the entire trading days. So based on this new theory and a couple of different variations. So I've also received a couple of email following up. So shout out to some of you guys. Let's say like Daniel and as well as Robert and also Prudence that's been following up on my progress, was wondering what's going on and stuff like that. So thanks for the really good following and also appreciate the support, right? So the purpose of this video is to actually fill you guys up with what I've actually discovered. Obviously for testing purposes, I couldn't use this main account because it's just going to cost me a lot of money, because what I did is the variation test requires me to take trades even though I do not think that is right. So I just want to find out what was the behavior of this robot with my settings under certain conditions. So therefore I actually used a smaller account. So I've actually recorded the outcome. Let's say for example what I've been up to is on the 27th of, let's see, of last month, which is 27th of July. So basically I have a theory that if we add stochastic into the chart, it will actually help us time better as opposed to our previous traditional RSI plus ATR only condition. So what usually happened is when the RSI went out of channel last time, we would enter a trade. However, but me adding stochastic crosses will actually help us time our entry a little bit better. So say for example at this point right here, which green means the trade was successful, red is the unsuccessful trade. So let's say we have a stochastic cross here, but this is without the RSI condition. So I was testing purely on stochastic crosses and for this stochastic settings to find out whether it works or not. So like the first cross it works, the second cross it didn't work, then third cross over here it works. And then of course I didn't take every single crosses because I was doing my daily routine of attending to my other work as well. So not every single crosses I've actually managed to enter, but I would say more than 80% of the crosses, as long as I was at the desk, I've actually managed to enter the trade at that precise moment. So say for example this cross I've entered and then it's a green, and then for this cross there's a breakout over here and the robot decided to do a put trade, which is a downward direction, but obviously the price went up, so I've lost there. And for this cross I've lost over here. Oops, sorry, it's a little bit big. Yep, I guess you guys can't see that trade. Yep, so this cross over here I've actually entered and then I've lost the trade as well. So this is only for the 27th of the first half of the day, and I've continued doing it on the second half of the day as well. And as you can see, here's more red arrows here, purely on crosses, stochastic crosses for one type of stochastic settings. So what I've actually figured out was these stochastic crosses, if you look in general, there are more green arrows than red arrows. But however, the second half of the day, there was suddenly there was more red arrows, meaning that I've lost the trade on the same stochastic crosses. And what I've realized is there is a difference in the ATR level. So in the early of the day, the ATR level, by the way, I've actually divided the ATR zones into 3 different zones, like above the yellow line, between yellow and blue and red. I will actually fill you guys up on what's the zone here later on, right? So what I realized is there's a boost in ATR, and then the same strategy of stochastic crosses alone has started to fail. So there's a lot of red arrows over here. So the robot couldn't actually decide a really good trade under a boost of ATR above this, I think, the yellow line. All right. So, and then the second day that I've actually tried it was on the 30th, and yet I've actually repeated the same thing. There was like hours and hours of, make sure I'm at the desk and entering the data. So on this day, I've actually tried a different variation. So anyway, I realized on the first one, there was a red arrow here and the boost of ATR, and I've actually decided to change the stochastic settings and in the end and try to filter out with the relationship of RSI. So like there's an RSI outside channel here and stochastic cross, and then we get good results, and RSI out, stochastic cross, good results. All right, so that was my takeaway from the day. So the first stochastic version, it works quite okay, but I was actually trying to look for a way to whether we can filter out the trade. So most likely I was going to impose another criteria, which is the traditional RSI cross. But however, this one didn't work. As you can see, the outside RSI channel and cross, and then I failed the trade. Like RSI cross, this cross, RSI outside channel, stochastic cross, and then we won the trade. So it's typically like this: RSI out, cross, and then we probably didn't win this one. So I was actually trying to find out what is the best stochastic setting for the second day, and want to find out more about the relationship of the stochastic settings with the ATR level. So on the second day, I've actually used the same stochastic, the initial stochastic settings, which is the first half of the previous day, with purely on crosses. So as you can see, there are tons of red arrow, and this day, you can see that at times where the stochastic does cross multiple times. That's why I actually turn on the robot like twice within like 5 minutes or something like that, because the alert came out twice just to find out what happened. I actually took the trade as well. So and on this day, the ATR level is really very low, so it went outside the yellow for a while, and then it maintained mostly in between the red and yellow. So it was an opportunity for me to find out the true relationship. Is it possible to trade low ATR level with the stochastic condition? So yep, so I continue to do that, and then there is a second half of the day which went pretty much okay. I mean, like it's just pure crosses, right? So what I can actually do from this data is we try to look for criteria that actually gives us more winning trades. So say for example here, let's say if we impose the RSI condition, let's say if we take the trade RSI outside and cross, okay, we lost this one, so it's not really good here. RSI cross, oh, this one I've missed this trade. So how about this one? RSI cross, then RSI outside channel cross, we won this one, and RSI cross, RSI out, and then a major cross on the second cross, which we won this one as well. RSI out, and then this cross, okay, didn't work out twice, and the next time RSI out over here, and then cross, we actually managed. Let's see, where's this? Yeah, this one we lost trade. So it was quite boring, and quite a little bit of frustration as well. So, but it was all for the sake of gathering more data. So as we can see, and this region here, the first half region, was a lot of green arrows here. So that means we've won a couple of trades in a row. So when we look at it, and it was due to the ATR level boost, and then we just did use the cross, and from this half alone we can deduce that so the stochastic works better outside above the yellow zone ATR level. Okay, so that's pretty interesting actually. And then it went back down super low ATR, and it actually went below the red line. And I realized that once it's really close to the red line or below the blue line, it starts to fail again, similar like the first half. First half, because I was trying to look for a way to trade below the yellow line or above the blue line, somewhere in between, to experiment on stochastic, basically. So anyway, I also realized that under the yellow line, yellow ATR level, there is a small chance, I mean, not say small, a pretty decent chance, but I would honestly say it's a little bit complicated because the room for entry is in between the blue and the yellow line. So like, let's say if we were to look at the levels on this day, on the 30th, in between, if the ATR level is nicely between the blue and the yellow line, instead of like hugging the blue line or something like that, we do have a chance of winning. So let's say here's a green arrow here, just purely on stochastic cross without the RSI. That is for low ATR trading. So let's say the next time if it moves nicely in between the blue and the yellow, and then there's a cross here, yep, we can actually try a trade. Say over here, there's a nice gap over here. I know it's very small. Let me see. Yep, over here. It's nice in between the blue and yellow line, and then there's a cross here. We just take one trade from the opportunity, and then nice blue and yellow line here, blue between the blue and yellow, and then yeah, we'll take a couple of trades here. So like there's a cross somewhere like over here, and then we took one, and cross here again, then we took another one, and then when it crossed here, unfortunately we lost this one, but it's normal because it's trading. Sometimes we can't win all the time. And then a nice one over here. Let's see, where is it? Yep, this line between here, and there's a cross right, let's see, around on that line itself. Actually, unfortunately we lost that one. Another area here, we cross across here, and then we got more green arrows here. In fact, there's 5 green arrows here, all within this area. 3, I think it's about 2 within this area, and another 2 within this area here. For this is purely without the RSI for low ATR level. So purely on running on stochastic cross for below the yellow level of ATR. Okay, so I've, after gathering all this data that I've actually got summarized visually for you guys over here, I do have a proposed solution. Obviously, in my opinion, it would be better to trade above the yellow line with a different stochastic settings, which I'm going to show you one of. I'll do one live trade for you guys in this video as well, so you can actually check it out. So however, for the yellow line, we will need to rely on the RSI level. So once it went outside the RSI level, and then we wait for a stochastic cross, and then we turn on the robot when the stochastic crosses. All right, so usually, so the order is we wait for RSI, go out channel, and then the stochastic crosses, and then we turn on the robot. That is for above the yellow line trading. And for below the yellow line, ATR yellow line, I don't really have much except that if the ATR level is nicely between the blue and yellow, which did happen really often in the past 2 days, we can actually take a trade, but only if the ATR level is holding nicely in between the blue and yellow line. If it's just hugging the blue line, it's not really effective, and if it's below the blue line, it's not really good as well. And especially below red, it starts to fail a lot. Let's see, I have the below red level, yeah, over here. So initially when it went below red or hugging the red, I have a lot of reds here. However, this one is actually quite peculiar, as you can see that it's way below the red, but it starts to succeed a lot, like 5 wins and 1 loss over here. I think it's just because of the price structure that it is moving nicely downwards. Like if you put 2 horizontal straight line, it actually fits nicely. But if it's not like a zigzaggy movement like this one, I think it's just going to fail a lot, especially if it's looking like this, like a stairs, like up and down, suddenly up again, and sudden down and up again. So it's not going to work. So I guess it's best not to take this risk here if it's below the red or below the blue ATR level. All right, so anyway, so for subscribers that sign up Binbot Pro using my link, you guys will be receiving a PDF notes on my latest discovery. Of course, the idea of the execution method is in this video. However, for the exact settings, it will be in the PDF file, where I will write the detailed instruction there, and you guys can try to follow it for a higher chance success through Binbot Pro. Okay, so and oh yes, let me explain the ATR zone. So basically, let's say if you are in tradingview.com, you can shift these things up or down. So there's a small arrow here, you click move up, you move up, and if you move down, oh no, yeah, this one you can actually shift it down. So if you want to enlarge the ATR graph, just simply double click the area and you just increase. So the first yellow line is actually placed on the first 0.0002 level, so I actually put it here. So how to draw a line here? Let's say if I delete the line, just go to this area here, put a horizontal line, click on 0.002, right on the line, and then you can change the color. Click the color, yellow line. All right, and the blue line is actually on the first 0.0002 line. Sorry, and the yellow line was actually the upper limit of the 0.002. Okay, so logically what it is actually above. Remember what I said about the yellow line and stuff. So the first blue line is actually the 0.0002, and the second 0.002 line is actually 0.002525. So that is why if you move your cursor a little bit up, the number will get round off to 0.0003 instead. So but it's actually 0.00025 something. Okay, so that is what it is, and the red line is actually 0.00015 something. All right, okay, so that's pretty much how you draw a line. So let me repeat. So usually it'll be trend line. So to draw a line, let's see, you just click on this line here, there will be a small arrow on your right, and then click horizontal line, move your cursor up and down, put a line here. You can actually drag it up and down and stuff like that, and just change the color to whatever color that you want. All right, so here is the ATR zones that I split. So to go back, you just simply left click, double left click, and you go back to your charts. Okay, so I'll actually show you guys one of a demo on a live chart with a different stochastic situation, because depending on the ATR, like I say, I have a little bit better stochastic settings for above the yellow line, and below the yellow line is a different stochastic setting. So and for guys that has been signed up using my link, I will send you guys a PDF with detailed settings and instruction as well. All right, so let's move on to the next section. Alright guys, so we have an alert for the RSI outside channel on my trading view. So I'm going to actually look to take a trade right now. Okay, so basically the situation is the ATR level is way above the yellow line, so I'm going to look for the RSI cross. Okay, so and you can see the stochastic is actually crossing, but however we only enter the trade if the RSI is confirmed to be going out of the channel of 70.30. So after this candle, if the RSI is actually out even for a little bit, I might just give this a go. But of course, ideally, if you would prefer, you should wait for the RSI to go maybe a bit higher before you can turn on the robot. So however, this is just an example. Okay, so all right, so the bar is going to close in 5 seconds. So as you can see, the ATR level is way above the yellow line. Okay, so it's closed already. Okay, so it is outside the channel for a little bit, and the stochastic has just crossed. The blue and red line in the stochastic chart is crossing, so I'm going to turn on the robot right now. All right, so let me go test robot and turn it on. Okay, so it's already on right now. So I'm going to wait for the robot to actually execute the trade. I think by now it's supposed to execute a trade already. Let me check it out. Right, let me check the trading history. Okay, yes, it's already open. So basically it's a call trade on this particular bar right here. So we're going to wait for the results to actually expire. All right, so let me change the color and position. So call trade. All right, so nice. So I think this trade is looking good, and the RSI is going way higher as well. Okay, so basically, because due to the ATR level is above the yellow line, and I've chose specific stochastic settings for this one. So first criteria after the above the yellow line is to wait for the RSI to go out the 70-30 channel, and after it's confirmed to be out of the 70-30 channel, we have to wait for a stochastic cross. And stochastic typically consists of two lines, which is the blue and the red one. So whenever the blue and red crosses, it typically shows like the price is going to like cycle or oscillate. All right, so however, it's not always the case, so that's why we have the RSI level to filter out like bad trades for the above yellow line. Okay, so basically, let me repeat again. The first thing that you should do when you look at the trading view chart is to check the ATR level, whether it is above the yellow line or below the yellow line. So if it's above the yellow line, we have a specific stochastic settings for it, and we have also an RSI criteria for above the yellow line. All right, so that's, and hence why I actually put an alert on for the RSI levels, because the ATR is above the yellow line. So however, if it's below the yellow line, so I only have some sort of confidence to trade between the blue and the yellow line, but however, it must be like curving in between or moving nicely in between the blue and the yellow zone, the blue and the yellow line, not only blue line itself. All right, so it has to be nicely populating between the blue and the yellow line. If it's just on the blue line, so I would say that's a bad ATR condition for the trade. And also below the yellow line, I'll be using a different stochastic settings to use the cross to take on the trade. And below the yellow line also, we do not use RSI levels. We just rely on the stochastic cross. And like I said, it is just very this tiny margin between the yellow and the blue, so the opportunity may be just less. All right, so let's go back to robot. You can see my balance is reduced due to the trade and the open trade. Wait, let me check. Yeah, I turned on the correct robot. All right, always make sure you turn on the correct robot. Okay, so under my trade history, so you can see my open trades is here, and we are just going to wait for the trade to expire and check the results. Okay, so this is a live chart. It seems like it's going very well. All right, so I think it's going to expire very soon. Okay, so all right, now that we're back, you can see my balance is already increased, so that's good news. According to the trade history, you can see a winning trade over here. And if you look at the charts right here, the trade is really successful based on using the RSI condition and the stochastic cross as an entry, as a timing tool. So let me change it to green because this trade is successful. Yep. So yeah, so this is basically what I've came up with after a couple of tests. I will still be constantly testing when I have the time, and also be trading using this new execution method. So if you guys need any help regarding this execution method, you can feel free to contact me with the contact details you see on your screen. And also remember to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not subscribed. And also if you guys are interested in trading with Binbot Pro, be sure to trade safely. And of course, I'll appreciate that you guys sign up Binbot Pro using my link, and hence I can provide you with more supports, including like questions about this execution method, and also like frequent updates on my personal own trading progress with the methods. And also if I discover anything new through my testing sessions, or if I have a new theory whatsoever. Okay, so I think that's all, guys. I hope this video helps, and for subscribers that did sign up using my link, please wait for a while for your PDF file and also instructions on how to execute this method. So I hope you guys will be profiting a lot this coming week as well using the Binbot Pro software. Okay, so I think that's all for now, guys. I'm signing off. So that good luck and treat safe.